It's said that dark chocolate is good for you, but not a lot of people enjoy the bitter taste. A local man is spending his Ozarks life finding a perfect recipe while also helping the consumers here and farmers an ocean away. Earlier this week, while golfing at a charity event at Millwood, my golf game wasn't great, but a cart going around offering free chocolate was. Growing up, did you like chocolate?
Not really.
Scott Walker is the founder and CEO of Verse Chocolate. Its office at Primrose and Fremont is small, but its company is truly worldwide.
70% of all the cocoa in the world comes from Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, and the Ivory Coast.
And it's the Ivory Coast where Verse Chocolate's cocoa comes from. Scott started as a commodity trader, dealing with cocoa in the late 90s. After living in Amsterdam, Brazil, and Switzerland, he knew a little bit about the chocolate business, eventually becoming the only American chairman of the European Cocoa Association.
I sat around the table with Hershey, Mars, and Nestle, and the other big players, and we talked about child labor, we talked about deforestation, and all these issues, but there was really not a good solution.
And 4 years ago, that's how his Verse Chocolate was born.
I'm singing a new tune, I'm singing a new song, I'm singing a new verse about chocolate, about the supply chain.
Instead of exporting raw materials, Scott's vision has the locals more involved in the chocolate creation process. In turn, this method gives locals more value and the chocolate a healthier product.
When you bake a cake or when you cook something, it's time and temperature. There's this much temperature at this much time.
Scott's cocoa is fermented in a box and not on the forest floor for a specific time. This process helps take away most of the bitterness naturally instead of adding a lot of ingredients, including a massive amount of sugar. These medallions were a huge hit when they debuted at the 2022 Bass Pro Shops Marathon.
We just sold out of all of our chocolate. We're like, what happened? We didn't expect this. And then we noticed over the next 8 weeks, our sales locally were just way up. And we're like, oh, maybe there's something here. So really, we kind of accidentally discovered that runners really like our chocolate.
It has value at the end of the process, meeting dietary needs, and at its beginning, by allowing growth for the farmers and the villages that they don't have under other chocolate companies.
Since colonization of West Africa or Africa, most of the raw materials have just been exported and been processed to Europe or the United States. And that basically has not allowed for growth or any value created there. Really what I want to do, and my family and I have talked about this for years now, like trying to create around 100,000 jobs in West Africa. Primarily related to cocoa and chocolate to start with, but as we grow through the years, like what else can we do?
Scott hopes the villages where he works can one day afford to build medical clinics and gain electricity. You can find Verse Chocolate at Mama Jean's, Price Cutter, and Hy-Vee. It's also being sent from its warehouse in Nixa to Whole Foods stores in many states.